How you doing, people? Today we have another episode of Black Nerd Talk, and I am Trey Day every day, and we are accompanied by the co-host,
Bonbon 623.
Sweet. And we have the topic that everybody's probably crazy about right now because they've wanted the game for 10 years, and that is Grand Theft Auto 6. And we're going to be kind of just shooting the shit about it. We can talk about what we do know, but we don't have some insider information. We're going to kind of talk about Grand Theft Auto and what we may want to see in it. So yeah, so for starters, man, like me, I know I'm probably a bigger Grand Theft Auto fan than you are because I remember the release dates of each Grand Theft Auto starting with Vice City. The first Vice City was released October 29th, 2002. Then San Andreas, I believe that was September 25th, 2004. That one's kind of fuzzy. But Grand Theft Auto 4, I believe that was April. I know it was April 2008. And Grand Theft Auto 5, September 17th, 2013, for at least the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. But November 18th, 2014, for the PlayStation 4 and last gen console. But
I
yeah,
don't think Vice City is the first Grand Theft Auto, though.
well, I was saying that I can remember the dates going back to that. The first Grand Theft Auto was actually Grand Theft Auto on PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
That was back when it was like a really goofy game. It was a top-down view. And
Yeah, it came out in 97.
yeah, you had a burp and fart button. Like yeah, like it was really, really goofy. And
Wow.
it started getting really serious around Grand Theft Auto 3, which released in 2001.
Is
I
that
believe
Vice
so.
City?
No, Grand Theft Auto 3
Oh.
was released in 2001.
Are Vice City and um what's that other one with CJ and he goes, "Damn, here we go again." Are those like spin-offs?
So what Grand Theft Auto did, how can I say this? So Grand Theft Auto is not necessarily writing a a story with a continuation. It's like Grand Theft Auto 3 happened. These worlds all these cities all live in the same world, but in
Hmm.
Grand Theft Auto 3 you control Claude and he's based in New York City. Then in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, you control Tommy Vercetti. That's kind of like a copy and paste of the Scarface movie. They
Hmm.
kind of made Scarface into it. And then San Andreas was kind of like a, if you want to say, a copy and paste of, I can't say Menace to Society was a gang movie, but it's just really kind of like the whole West Coast theme.
Yeah.
Then Grand Theft Auto 4 is about Nico Bellic, who's a Russian who came into America. Then Grand Theft Auto 5 is about Franklin, Michael, and Trevor, and they're all on a. So it's like they're not telling a story where it's like characters you control the same character. It's not like say you know every time you play a Zelda game you're controlling Link. It's like
Hmm.
it's going to be a different person. So basically, yeah, in theory, Vice City and San Andreas are like spinoffs, but you could also say that it doesn't matter if it's a Grand Theft Auto 3 or Grand Theft Auto. It could have been, they could have just called this Grand Theft Auto Vice City 2, or just it doesn't necessarily have to be Grand Theft Auto 6. It's like they can just kind of call it whatever they want to. But what I have noticed, what I'm kind of looking at is areas that they haven't been to. They won't call it a new merit. Um, um, they won't add it to the new merit continuation.
Hmm.
So like since we've been to Vice City before, they were safe calling it Grand Theft Auto 6. Since we've been to San Andreas before, they were safe calling it Grand Theft Auto 5. Since we've been to Liberty City before, they were safe calling it Grand Theft Auto 4. That's the only thing that I noticed.
Okay. So what I heard from Matt Pat, we was talking about last episode from Game Theory. He did a game theory on Grand Theft Auto 6 getting ready to come out. And he
Mm,
said so far, every time they've ever put out a trailer of the game, they've basically told you what the story is going to be about. So
hmm
long story short, he surmises that the main lead, the female character,
hmm
is the ringleader of everything or what have you. And the dude that she's with really wants to get out of the life and that he's done with it. But there's kind of like a let's just do one more job kind of thing.
Right.
And then in the end, she's the one that ends up in jail. And we're not entirely too sure what happens to him, but it seems like one of the other, either she betrays him or he betrays her. So we'll have to
That's
see if it plays out that way.
that would be pretty. That would be pretty a pretty good premise. And Rockstar is definitely not a stranger to a woman betraying a character because in Grand Theft Auto 3, the male lead, his name was Claude, and he had this girlfriend that he used to. They were like a Bonnie and Clyde type of situation,
Hmm.
and apparently the chick, her name was Catalina. Catalina had apparently found a guy who did bigger bank heists or robbed more money than Claude. And when y'all went to do a robbery, and when you come around the corner with your end of the cash, he's like, "I'm sorry, but I'm an ambitious girl." She shoots you, and she takes the money and she runs off. So you spend the game trying to catch up with all of that. So that kind of fits within the wheelhouse of what Rockstar likes to do.
Hmm.
I'm actually pretty excited about having a female lead in a Grand Theft Auto game because I kind of want to see. I want to because like Grand Theft Auto has a world that really interacts with you, kind of in a passive way. Certain Grand Theft Autos, like you can actually talk to. Well, you can't talk to them, but Grand Theft Auto 4, you can walk up and I believe somebody can say something and you can respond negatively to them and you might start a fight, you know. But
Hmm.
yeah, when you walk by, certain people say obscenities at you. So I'm trying to see what they would do with the female lead and how they would go about doing this and what type of because the stuff is hilarious. There've always been satire, but we're in like a super sensitive time period, and I want to clear this up. This is not going to be the first Grand Theft Auto they try to cancel. I can tell you now they're going to try to cancel it, but they tried to cancel Grand Theft Auto 5. They tried to cancel all of these games. So this is not a new conversation for anyone who's worrying about is it going to get canceled. No, it's not going to get canceled. Rockstar has been down this road way too many times because they had the game Bully. People were trying to say it's a school shooter simulation, and there's no guns in Bully. Like so, Rockstar has treaded this fire for their entire majority of their career.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that one of the characters in the game, I guess, looks close to somebody called Florida Man or something. Tattoo
Yeah,
Florida.
the Florida Joker.
There we
So,
go.
so what's funny about this is he requested 3 million, and then he doubled it up to 5 million. And me, from my knowledge, I'm like, okay, first of all, you're doing this before the game releases.
Hmm.
What development teams can edit you out?
I'm like, but
Yeah,
not to mention, but he colored his hair to look like the color of the character afterwards.
right.
I thought that was
Well,
funny.
so so here's another scenario that I laughed to myself thinking about. I would be like, okay, let's say for instance the game was out, he sued, and let's just say some kind of strange way he wins, and it's like, okay, you won for 5 million. Now I'm waiting for DC to come and sue you for 10 million for making for trying to monetize your likeness to a character we designed.
Hmm.
It's cool that you like the Joker enough to do it, but now that you've tried to monetize it, yeah, that's going to hit you for 10 million. So I kind of laughed to myself about that.
I
But
don't
what's
really
funny,
think that he has a viable case, but I mean, I think it's interesting that it's gotten to this point to where we can probably like confidently say that they used him as a inspiration for the character. But like you said, that game is still like a year out. They could
yeah,
really
they
take
can
that
edit him
character
out.
out and call it a day.
And yeah, and lastly, Rockstar always satires actual reality. They
Yeah.
don't use real names like those cars. It's like it might be called a Banshee, but you're looking like, oh, that's a Dodge Viper. Like you know what it is when you're looking at it.
Hmm.
And what's funny is I watched the video. There's a person, I forgot what his YouTube name is. I wish I could give him credit, but you can YouTube the 8 real life occurrences from Grand Theft Auto 6, and I think and all of them are Florida references except for that alligator that went into the store. But yeah, like all of those things happen in Florida, and it's based on real people. Like there was a guy who was watering the grass in a G string. There was actually a guy in Florida who likes to water his grass, paints his house naked, but he's naked. Yeah, that's a real story.
Of course it
So so the thing is he doesn't, and that's another thing they can bring up. Like, bro, you don't have a unique case. We
Yeah.
use it's loosely based on reality. Now it might look like he has the best case because of the likeness, but at the same time, Grand Theft Auto always does this. What I was about to mention is I just seen a video of him. He was kind of you know the Red Dead Redemption 2. There's
Mm.
a character named Arthur Morgan. His voice actor actually made a reply video to him and told him like, look, bro, Rockstar has seen a million views before trying to sue them for something. You're not gonna win. He's like, your best bet is to try to monetize this popularity, this because he has a lot of attention right now. He's like maybe tell him to start streaming or something like that. But Arthur kind of and he says that they've kind of had um a small relationship, and he's kind of helping him because the guy came out and said that he really just wants to take care of his mom. So
Mhm.
when you kind of peel the curtain back, it's like it's a noble reason, but it's like it's just not gonna work with a company that's just used to people trying to get money off them.
Not to mention, their lawyers would have that pretty sealed on as far as what counts as parody and what
Exactly.
using someone's actual
Yeah.
likeness.
Yeah.
Like,
And see what we have to fit what we have to put into what we have to put into play is that this is not their first video game that
yeah.
has released to the public. You know, so like I said, they've had to go through this with each game they've released. It's probably, like I said, it's just easier now because it's social media in place for someone to get up and it can turn into a headline when something really. If somebody probably did this in 2002, it probably wouldn't even made the news. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what how do you play Grand Theft Auto? Do you watch?
I've watched my husband play.
Hmm.
That's about it. So I don't know too heavy about the stories. I think I watched San Andreas played all the way through.
Right. Yeah, the stories are. I play Grand Theft Auto for the stories, but like I said, none of them are connected except for they may mention a character from this other game, but it's not a continuation.
Hmm.
Is there anything that what fascinates you about Grand Theft Auto when you're watching it?
Um, I liked the San Andreas premise. I thought that was fun, but I remember when was it Grand Theft Auto 4 came out with Franklin, or was that 5?
That's
Five.
fine with Franklin.
Okay. And when Franklin got into a fight with his homeboy,
Uh-huh.
and his homeboy read him down and told him if he would stop getting them yee ass haircuts, I fell apart that day. That was one of those you had to be there and experience it.
Yeah, Franklin and
I,
Lamar. It
I
was so
couldn't
funny.
believe it.
Yeah, get rid of that. Yeah. So the funny shit about that is like the fucking mod community went crazy
I
with
thought that.
that fucking scene.
Oh
The,
man.
the, fu- The funniest one to me is somebody legit made a mod to where every single character that you can think of was talking to Franklin. I'm talking about from Superman, Batman, Herbie, Donald Duck, like everybody was like that. It was a crowd of characters, and they was all and you could hear all their voices, giving all of it. Yes, I could, nigga. That's the one
That
that
was a
messed me up the
moment.
most.
That was a
That was
moment.
that was hilarious.
Whew.
Yeah. So that's another thing too, man. Grand Theft Auto was really a lot of people like to focus on the. They'll be like, "Oh, okay." If you want to break it down, Grand Theft Auto is cops and robbers. It's really like if you strip it down to bare bones, Grand Theft Auto is a game about cops and robbers. It's
Hmm.
just the fact that they put the game out and it's there to do, and people are the people the extreme people are like, oh well, this game is making people. This game didn't make you do nothing. The prostitutes are there, but you don't have to go pick them up. You know. Now don't get mad at the person that's playing it and they're indulging in that.
Hmm.
So
I think one of the most iconic moments was it happened a few years ago. And I think the police was asking people like help to find something. I don't remember what was going on. But basically the internet decided to go on a no snitching policy. So they were like, yeah, I could swear I saw something going on and you gotta go check on the ballas. They're the ones in purple. And like the cops actually thought that it was that, and then they started to realize that it was a San Andreas reference and that people was just giving them run around. Oh, it was beautiful. It was iconic.
yeah, man, I'm sorry. Like that Grand Theft Auto community, trust and believe the people that really play the game. If it like
Like the ballas are out there, you gotta go get them.
you gotta go, you going out there looking for something that's not there. Yo, I need to look. Send me that when we. I need to
If
see
I
that.
can find it again, oh my God. I want to say it was oh, you know what? I think it was during the George Floyd protest. And they were
Okay.
like trying to round people up for protesting and stuff, and people were like sending them stuff like that. It was
Boy,
incredible.
yeah, people are hilarious. That's what I was gonna say is that in a world to where if let's say they could manage to get the extreme people could get Grand Theft Auto canceled, like I believe that it would legit be a riot in cities across the world, across the nation because of it. Because that's one of those games that has entered the casual gamer. It's like let's just say, for instance, somebody who is not necessarily a gamer to my level, not even a gamer to your level, and it's like, hey, you kind of just expect people to play Call of Duty or either a 2K or a Madden and Grand Theft Auto. Like those are the four games that you just kind of expect people to be playing.
Hmm.
It's like, man, so if Grand Theft Auto 6 won't couldn't come out, I think that would cause an uproar in little small communities in different cities. Or it's like, so yeah, people better let that game. You better let that game live, even though Rockstar don't let it come out.
Not to mention it's a household name now.
Yeah,
Like
hmm
even if you've never played Grand Theft Auto, you've certainly heard of it.
yeah. Like the funny thing is, people probably know Grand Theft Auto as a video game and not the legal term of when a car is stolen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's like when when a car is stolen, the actual law term is Grand Theft Auto.
Mhm.
So it's people that's like when they hear Grand Theft Auto, I think video game. Like, now it's actually a term in law.
Mhm.
So, and that's incredible.
Yeah. Not to
So
mention, I feel like the game Grand Theft Auto has a lot of iconic moments within it to where even if you're not familiar with the game, You're
Hmm.
familiar with bits and pieces of it, like when a character dies and it says wasted and it goes black and
Right.
white.
Where it goes black and white.
Well, people
Nothing's better than
recognize
those.
the wasted thing.
Right. Nothing's better than those. I believe that's Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 4 had it bad when if you're driving real fast and you crash, you fly out the glass. So like
Mhm.
you crash, the wasted screen goes gray. You see your
In slow
character.
motion. And that sound that it makes.
Yeah, but waste is definitely a meme.
And then
But yeah,
CJ
like
when
I
he's
said,
like, "Damn, here we go again."
yeah, the cultural impact of Grand Theft Auto is just too deep.
And the art style, like their posters.
Yeah, it's like that font too. That Grand Theft Auto, you know that Grand Theft Auto font immediately.
Yeah.
The so Grand Theft Auto went more for a comic book type of style of art rather than photorealism.
Hmm.
But as the systems became more powerful, the characters look a little bit more real. But if you look at kind of like the shadings, they still look very comic booky, and that's the look they've always gone for.
Yeah, the
It's
Tomb
not it's
Raider.
not photorealism,
Hmm.
you know. So, but yeah, I'm excited. They say this is gonna be the biggest one yet. I'm like, bro, I think Florida is a great place to. Well, Vice City is like I wonder. I hope because see, with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas specifically, that was set in. It was set in the West. Was it called Los Santos, which was based on Los Angeles.
Hmm.
Las Venturas was based on Las Vegas, and San Fierro, which was based on San Francisco. But then when they came back to San Andreas, they just kind of used the Los Santos setting, and they have a little country area and whatnot. I'm kind of hoping that with Florida, I hope they can kind of capture because Florida is like one of those really pretty, visually pretty places to look at. I want to see if they can kind of move that Las Vegas into that, like something is like resent because I think it fits
Hmm.
kind of like the Las Vegas nightlife casino. I want the casinos back, So yeah, it's like that was really fun to
Hmm.
go, like to legit go to on San Andreas, legit go to the casino. Now I had never done this. I had to actually see somebody do it because I always didn't leave unless I won.
Hmm.
But to go to the casino, gamble all of your money away, and leave in the negative, and then you got these black cars following you, and they get out and they just start shooting at you because you own the casino.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I was like, bro, they do this. Somebody had said, yeah, they do that. I got so curious that I watched somebody do it. I said, I'm not gonna get because I be having a significant amount of money in Grand Theft Auto before shark cards. Like I legit be grinding in that game. So I was like, I would never gamble all of the money that I've incurred
Mhm.
away. Yeah, and then I seen it. I was like, bro, that was so hilarious.
I wonder how big this map is going to be because I know five was just massive.
We'll see. So someone did a size comparison, and it seemed like I think they said 3 times as big. That's a lot of that's a lot of real estate.
A lot.
Yeah,
Overwhelming, in fact.
yeah, I'm wondering how I'm wondering how the areas are gonna separate. Like if they're gonna do a I'm pretty sure they're gonna do a country area. Of course they're gonna do a city. But since it's in Florida, I wonder if they're gonna do a swamp. I'd love to see a swamp type area.
Maybe.
Um, of course, I know there's gonna be a beach. Um, you have to do a helicopter airport. Um, I wish they bring the army bases back. You go to the army base, you walk in as soon as you get in, there's 5 stars immediately.
Wow.
Yeah, we need an army base. Like they have little staples that they just kind of have to have.
Mhm.
packages would be dope, but I think we're in a different time where we don't need hidden packages. Because hidden packages, it used to be like 100 of them, and for every 10 that you find, you would get like find 10 packages, you get the I believe the baseball bat, 20 packages handgun, 30 packages the machine gun, 40 packages the shotgun, and so on and so forth. Because
Mm.
when you used to pass away and you go to the hospital, you always have all your weapons stripped. But now when you die, they leave the weapons on you, so it's kind of not a need for the hidden packages, but it's still a little fun thing to do in free time.
Uh-huh. Well,
Mm-hmm.
especially if the map is going to be massive, I guess it would give you a reason to explore everything.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly what that used to that's exactly what they used to inspire, like a person just sitting down and just learning or exploring the map
Yeah.
rather than out of just doing it out of genuine curiosity. Because Grand Theft Auto usually has some interesting things you can go find that
Mm.
never necessarily make it to, because people are playing the game for some people trying to get their money up, they're trying to get their cars, and some people are just shooting people. It's like so many different people play Grand Theft Auto for so many different things, and it might be like, hey, if you go to this area, this part of the area at night, you might see an event that happens. Now, people catch those in Red Dead Redemption because Red Dead Redemption is not so fast, and those players that gravitate to Red Dead Redemption do care about the scenery, but
Hmm.
they also do it in Grand Theft Auto too. It's just the average consumer doesn't sit down and take games in that way.
Yeah.
So
I'm just remembering that Red Dead is also a Rockstar game.
oh yeah, yeah. Rockstar has my favorite catalog of games. Period. Red Dead Redemption series, Grand Theft Auto series, L.A. Noire, Bully, Max Payne. Oh, and I have to, I have
Bully.
to, I have to mention rest in peace to I believe his name is James McCaffrey, the voice of Max Payne. Yeah, he passed away recently, and that really hurt because I really was like, man, can we get a Max Payne 4? Can you squeeze it in? Can you try? Pretty please, pretty please. And then when he passed, it's like, damn, they can do it, but there's no voice that can be Max Payne.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shout him out. But yeah, they just have a great catalog, man. I love everything they do. Almost everything they do. Because I wasn't too crazy about Midnight Club.
I loved Midnight Club. I was never great
Yeah,
at it,
yes.
but
Well, so right, the thing was, Midnight Club wasn't bad. It was just more about the car customization, and I was more into the actual racing.
uh
So Need for Speed and Burnout, those two titles captured. Like if I want, and Gran Turismo because that's simulation racing. Those three captured those. I cared more about that than car customization. Because hell, even if I get a car in real life, I don't customize it. So, but for people who probably like the customization, it was definitely a great game. I'm definitely not trying to shit on it. I'm just saying that I was more into the actual racing than the customization aspect of it. But if that was your first racing game and you didn't got to the others, you definitely had a great title.
I don't know if I ever customized any of the car or if that was even an option in Midnight Club 2. That's the one that I had.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like it wasn't an
I'm
option.
thinking about one that's called Dub Edition. I
Yes, I
think that
don't have
was the
that one.
first one that I had. And I
Mm.
was like, yeah, this is okay. You know,
I loved driving around and the racing was fine or whatever, but I just liked doing the free play and running around or driving around on the map.
right.
Hours
That's
of
probably,
my life drained.
I promise that if you play Grand Theft Auto 6, you would like it in terms of like just
No, it's
doing it.
not the same.
It's not the same. It's different.
I
But
just
that's
want to
why,
drive
because
around.
look, this is the thing that makes Grand Theft Auto a little bit better than Midnight Club because you might pull up and you might see something like, hold on, let me get a closer look at that. You get out the car
Yeah,
and you go get a closer look at it.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's
that's
me
why,
getting out of the car in Midnight Club.
yeah, you couldn't get out.
Um,
Man, Grand Theft Auto really put racing games out of business for me for years. Crazy, man, because I got to a point where I started looking like damn, I can't get out the car, so I can't play this. And then when it started getting bigger, I'm playing stuff like Call of Duty, and I see a car like, bro, why I can't get in this car? So Grand Theft Auto really started messing with my head for a
Uh-huh.
while. But then as I got older, I remember I went to an arcade a few years ago, and I sat down. They had the whole little setup with the seat, steering wheel. I sat down and played Need for Speed, and it was really immersive for me. And I said, you know what? As an older gamer, I think if I play racing, the whole sit down in the car steering wheel, that level of immersion was like, okay, I can get into a racing game at
No.
this age. This has to be a little bit more immersive than just picking up the joystick.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think you like to see in the new Grand Theft Auto? I know you're probably your knowledge of Grand Theft Auto is not huge, but
Yeah.
what's something that you think you enjoy seeing? And I'll tell you if it's in any of them before, so if you can expect it or not.
I don't, I think it's maybe what music comes out of it. Because
Oh, that's something I'm definitely excited about because they're the best radio stations.
I don't remember which game it was, but YG, when he first came out, he did a
Oh,
song for one of the Grand Theft Autos, and it was incredible. And I
oh yeah,
can't
he's on.
remember what it's called, and I can't find it anywhere unless it's associated with that album, the game album. But it was amazing.
He's on. He's definitely on Grand Theft Auto 5.
Maybe that's what it had to be that then.
He,
It had to be that.
what's his song where he said, I eat the on the first day and
And
brush
brush
my
my
teeth with
teeth with
Colgate."
Colgate. Oh my God. I was like, that's the song where I was like, I love that song so bad, but I can't find it anywhere if it's not associated with the
Oh,
game.
you can. I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll send it to you. YG is a fucking fool, man.
And
He
that's
needs
when
to
he
put out.
first came out, so I don't think that I like knew that was YG for real until I started.
Mhm. Well, the funny thing about YG is, yeah, you're right. Like when he first came out like in the 2011, 2012. He was
Wait, who didn't
really,
boot it?
really,
And we didn't realize that was him. We are like, that's YG.
yeah, yeah. She got booted. She got booted. It's like, yeah, he actually, Young Jeezy sat down with him and he really kind of helped him put it together. Now YG's a great storyteller. YG makes dope music. So in 2014, he put out my Crazy Life, and then he put out Still Brazy in 2016, and he's been on my radar ever since.
Yeah,
And but yeah, that's what I do wonder because now that it's set in Miami, I wonder as far as the hip hop station is concerned, what they're gonna aim at because it's kind of like Chicago drill had been like the most popular. But even though so much music is mainstream, I just don't know what they're listening to in Florida. So I'm probably sure it's going to be reflective of what Floridians are listening to. But then at the same time, still have enough for the universal crowd to get into it. But specifically to what you're saying, well, I'm pretty sure Kodak Black's probably going to be on there. But like I said, to the YG reference, they're playing the game set in the West Coast, so that would be reflective of what West Coast radio would be like. So
mm,
we're definitely going to have a whole different tone in terms of soundtrack. And
yeah,
they also do that well. They do everything they do, the way they just integrate everything, the culture, the music, the happenings. I don't think no series does that better than Rockstar
yeah,
or Grand Theft Auto specifically.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we are getting close to the
Yeah, it's
ending mark.
so we'll go ahead and wrap up now.
Yeah, man.
You guys are looking forward to anything in particular with Grand Theft Auto 6? Let us know in the comments
Let's
down
talk about it.
below.
Yeah, let's talk about this one, man, because I know everybody's been upset. It's like this is the first game that took 10 years, 11 years for a sequel.
I think it's gonna be
Yeah,
worth it. I think it's gonna look
I know. Yeah,
incredible.
I know for a fact it is. I seen someone talking about that they may have $1 billion, but they could possibly use $1 billion to put this game out. You
Wow.
know, Grand Theft Auto 5 made $800 million in 24 hours.
Wow.
In 72 hours, they made $1 billion. It's like, come on, fam. The
Wow.
the greatest selling game. Well, I don't know if the greatest, but in terms of like the microtransactions, they've monetized Grand Theft Auto. That game has generated more money than any game period
Imagine
outside
being
of
the owner of
individual.
that IP. Man.
Yeah, crazy man. People buying them shark cards more than they buying gift cards and giving them to people in real life.
You know? But
But
all
yeah, man,
right, everybody.
that's it. We'll be back at you with a new video and happy New Year's
Happy
for
New Year.
the first of 2024, the year of Kobe. All right. We'll catch you again in 2 weeks, hopefully.
Peace.